people have been asking me why have I been so quiet during the Black Lives Matter movement. And for me, I've just been observing and listening, and seeing what people have been saying. And, I've seen a lot of people talking about it in sport, some in general life. And for me, I had to think about it because for me, it was more than just about sport. I think it's everyday life for me. I mean, for me, I felt that my life didn't matter since I was a little kid, growing up in the townships, My mentality was all about surviving from the moment I was born, where all my grandmother had to do it just to keep me motivated each and every day, not to encourage me to strive and be the best in what I wanted to do and live and follow my dreams. I remember growing up, I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I was selling fruit and veg, so I could get food in my belly. I was making bricks as a kid, so I could have food and have food for my family. When I was 16 years old, I was a bartender, and we always heard this word that we are the future of the country, but those are the things that I was doing just to keep myself basically alive and to survive. And like just the school, where I went to school, it was a struggle. We didn't have fields, we didn't have the right equipment, and when I had my opportunity to go to Grey, then just the way I saw life was just different, and it was only 15 minutes away, from my township to Grey, with the infrastructure, the facilities. And I was an A student in the township. Then when I went to Grey, I had to adapt to a whole new culture that wasn't mine. I had to learn how to speak English. And I felt so stupid because I was failing because I didn't understand the language, but it made me feel, no, maybe I wasn't smart enough, and I had to learn English, and then I had to adapt to this culture, and I had to conform to the culture to feel accepted and welcomed, And only 1 or 2 people wanted to understand a little bit more about my culture. That's why I met my friend Nicholas, who had to teach me English each and every single day. He had to help me with my homework each and every single day, And he came to my township, one of the only people that came with me to my township. And when I was there, I lived there and I understood why the boys didn't know what it was like for us to live in the town. Because I never thought about it, because you have everything that you need each and every single day. You have 6 meals a day, where in the township I might not even have 1 meal a day. And you just live in this bubble, in this world. That's why I encourage people that they need to step out of their comfort zone and go more into other areas so they could see and understand why people are struggling, why people are saying their lives don't matter. Like I was saying, no, I didn't feel like I mattered. I moved on from there. I thought, okay, cool, now I'm going to the rugby world. I'm leaving, I'm going to start the life differently and be who I am and learn, and just start a whole new life for my family. Get there, then to get there, I also had to conform to a whole new culture. I had to learn a whole new language, When I first got into the Springbok environment, everything was done in Afrikaans, and I couldn't speak Afrikaans at all. The calls were in Afrikaans, so it affected. I couldn't. I had to translate from Afrikaans to English, from English to Xhosa, and it was really hard. So I always reacted late, and I felt stupid and embarrassed. And my culture wasn't there. We were representing South Africa, but didn't feel like I was valued enough. I just had to be grateful to be there, and that's why I never complained about the calls. I didn't say, what, but I'll just wait and ask one of my friends to explain to me the calls. And it flippant difficult. And because when having those conversations, and I didn't feel like I could have that conversation and say, listen here, can we do it differently because I don't understand. Until now, where Coach Rassi came in 2018, and he addressed it from the first go, that we need to transform as a team. And we need to transform not only by having people of color in the team, the environment itself, and we have to transform from inside, that people must feel valued. Every culture must be represented, because South Africa, we're a unique country where apartheid was in South Africa, so things have to change, have to be done differently. Whether we like it or not, transformation has to be part of this while we are winning. And that conversation actually changed the game for us as a team, Then we felt valid. We felt like we could do things. We could sing. We could be, you know, after the first game as well, as announced as captain. And that was also something huge because now kids in the township could now, okay, cool, these things are happening. He can do it now. We can also do it, you know. And then, you know, and then we had this conversation, and then we could feel as a team that, you know what, we can do this. And then we had the campaign that was criticized a lot, stronger together. You know, I think that's a great campaign because for us as a team, it showed because we did work together and we did try to understand each other and focus on a common goal that we had. And we all fought for one thing. And I think stronger together, we have to look at it as well. What does it actually mean, you know? And I think if we all get together and we understand that if my suffering and my pain doesn't affect you, then we're actually not stronger together. Until that comes hand in hand and you understand my suffering and pays an effect on you. And when we're marching, we have people of different races marching with us because we don't feel like our lives matter. And until our lives matter, no lives matter. We're all important. Black lives actually matter. We wanted to matter from when we're in the township. I wish that I felt like it mattered. It really didn't feel like it mattered. It mattered at all. So I encourage people to have the difficult conversation there in the work environment, the leaders, to be sitting, or politicians to be sitting and having this conversation within their own party and say, listen here, these are the conversations we must have. They're uncomfortable, but they have to be had because then we're stepping in the right directions. And for me as well, I felt as a leader, I've been in a position of leadership for a very long time in my sport, and I didn't address it because I was scared that I was going to get kicked out or I was going to be seen differently or I'm not doing what it's supposed to be done. Time to be scared and to be silent there's no time for that anymore. We gotta start addressing these issues because if I don't address it, then the next kid that's coming through, he's gonna suffer the same way as I did. But luckily, now this movement is happening. People are standing up, and I won't keep quiet with every single thing that affects me. I will speak. If it's gonna cost me my place in every, it doesn't matter because the next generation can't suffer like we did. Or we might as well just give this place of leadership or the platform that we have, give it away because we're not using it for what it's supposed to be used. It's time for us, all of us, to change and actually start living that the South Africa that so many people have fought for, so many people have died for. We should be the generation that's changing this. It's 2020 right now. So many people have suffered to make this country a better place. It's time for us, all of us, to come together because it's the only way we can fight this, it's the only way we can beat this.